Welcome to Thanks for being here, everyone. This is so cool. I love this. Hey, this is Ann Timpany of Embodying Joy, and I'm here with Laughing Elaine, Elaine of the Holy Shift Show on Google Plus. And Elaine is a veteran here on Blab, and so we've been playing around as I've been learning the Blab platform, and so I'm thrilled to have Elaine here, not only for the technical moral support, but also just to laugh together because she was in the last Planet Joy experiment with me. And so we're just going to share some laughter and talk about the magic that happens when we get together in a group and laugh with intention. This is powerful stuff. So welcome, Elaine. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, it is great to be here. And I like to call this, like this is the Blab Arena or the Blabberama. and when people of like mind get together on Blab, to mutually support a great value that all relates to upliftment, healing, unification, clarity, expressing your life purpose, well then, we could call that co-blaboration. Yes, and a few people on Blab have been saying that, but that's what we're doing now. And I'm really happy, so happy to get you more involved with live streaming, because being able to connect with people visually is just, it's great to have lots of options and lots of different dimensions and ways of experiencing laughter and learning from each other.
Absolutely. Yay. And I love the real-time feedback when people click on the little props button. Woo, thanks, everybody. Yum, yum, yum. So
Anne,
yes.
There might be some people watching live and some watching replay that know nothing about like intentional laughing,
yes,
as a health practice. And
right.
It's very common to hear the cliche, but there's power in that cliche. Laughter is the best medicine. But I'm just wondering if you can just introduce a little bit about that, because some
Sure.
people don't even know that this is a health practice. It just sounds too weird.
Or a spiritual practice. That's really the context in which I'm playing. But, you're so right, because everybody says, yeah, laughter is the best medicine, and everybody nods their head and agrees. And then when you say, okay, let's laugh, they're like, okay, moving along, because of all of the conditioning that we have received in our culture over the generations that.
Okay, so Anne is frozen. You just never know what's going to happen in live streaming. So Anne, I'm crossing my fingers that she's going to refresh and go out and come back in again, because I'm holding down the fort here. Holy F show fort. Ha, 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 ha. And hi there, Teresa. I don't know if Anne let you in. Are you one of the Planet Joy laughers, or are you just like somebody on Blab saying, what in the heck is this?
No, I just know exactly what you're talking about and kind of felt sorry for you being abandoned.
Oh, well, hey, I always feel like I got my angels at my back. I got my flock here. So if Anne even couldn't come back, I could carry this.
Yes, you could. I'm sure you could.
Get her message out, because we've actually titled this thing, like Laughing Elaine talks to Anne about the Planet Joy experiment. And so anyway, why don't you pose me a question for whatever you think this is about, and I'll carry on until Anne comes back. You know what? I'm going to X her out, because I think I can do that as the host, and see if she can come back in. Let's see if that'll work.
Okay.
Maybe I can't do that to a co-host. We'll see. Ho, ho, ho. Anyway, so Teresa Ann, what is it about this blab that even got you curious?
The laughter. The laughter part, yeah.
The
You
laughter.
said something about being therapeutic. I've been a nurse for 16 years, and from firsthand experience, I can tell you laughter goes a long way to heal.
Teresa, you may or may not have known, I am actually a registered nurse. I happen to be a holistic nurse, and sometimes I call myself the holistic nurse. But anyway, I used to do an intentional laughter practice nearly daily on days that I was driving in from my home in Bel Air, Maryland, into downtown Baltimore, where I had my job. And right now, Anne is sending me a message via Google Hangouts to wonder what in the flock happened. And so while I respond to her, I'm going to pause this recording.
Okay, that's fine.
And respond to her, and then I'll unpause the recording. So
perfect. All right, we're back recording. I don't know what technically just happened, but we're back. We're back. Thank you for your patience and for laughing along through the hiccups. So we've got Teresa and Kevin here too, and we're going to share some laughs. I think when I cut out whatever that was about, I was talking about that conditioning that we all have to not laugh for, quote, no reason. And so just noticing what happens in your own mind when you start laughing is a really powerful practice. So we could just even go there by just taking a deep breath in and laughing, just to observe like what happens in your mind when you start laughing. So with the intentional laughter, we're not telling jokes, we're not making anything funny. We're just doing a breathing practice that lets us infuse joy vibes and oxygen and endorphins into our body. So if we take a deep breath in and on the exhale, add some laughter sounds. Ha, 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 ha. Can you not laugh?
And you can fake it till you make it. It's okay. Sometimes it seems kind of weird.
So, like, for example, when we do that, Teresa, if this is the first time you've done it, what do you notice in your mind, or what came up for you the first time you did something like this? Did you get the, oh my God, this is weird voice, or what did you notice?
I've always been an intentional laugher.
Okay.
But you will notice that your mind, it clears. Which for women, let's face facts, that's very difficult for us to do. Our minds are always going, but when you laugh, it clears your mind. It really does.
Perfect. How about you, Kevin? What's been your experience? I know we've laughed together before, and I don't know how new it is for you, but what's come up for you as we've been doing laughter in the past?
I can't hear him. Can you?
Okay. I can't hear him.
I can see you, but I got no audio. Ha, 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 ha.
Okay. And so, Anne, I'd like to point along a tip. And basically, we take minimal amounts of time to see if people can work through the audio issues. If they can't, we say, we hope you'll join us another time. And as more people come onto the Blab, and if they have had access to a little Blab guide that gives them some guidelines, either about how to set up their mic or earbuds, sometimes that's helpful, because you don't want to spend a whole show just getting everybody techno right. You say, "We're sorry," click.
Let's see.
It's tricky, but sometimes that's what we have to do.
Yeah, Kevin, I can't hear you yet, so say something. Okay, bye. Thanks anyway, Kevin. We'll try again next time. Somebody over in the comments is offering to support you, Kevin. Okay, so anyway, we in the Planet Joy experiment that starts tomorrow, we are doing this intentional laughter with intention. And by that, it's not just, I'm going to laugh, but we're going to bring a broader focus to it. Like, what is it that you want to create in your experience of life? What is it that you want to manifest, or how do you want to feel more of in your life? Is it more joy, more abundant, more free to be you, more peaceful, whatever it is. And what I've found is, as we set our intention for what we really want to be, do, or have in our life, and we wrap that intention up with laughter, and then we laugh together as a group, we send it out into the field of universal reality, and the laughter amplifies our intention. And so this is what we just finished doing in the Planet Joy experiment last month, and we're going to do it again starting tomorrow. But Elaine, you were a part of the first Planet Joy experiment. Tell me a little bit about what your experience was with laughing with that context of having an intention, a focus, and then laughing with that bigger perspective.
Well, first of all, I wasn't new to intentional laughing as a practice, as some people already know. And as a teacher of laughter yoga, there have been periods of time where I have done intentional laughing on my own, usually in the morning, but usually completely solo. And I might have put on a YouTube video with someone doing laughter yoga exercises, or I just might have done, my own practice, but I had never done something in a routine way where I was joining with a bunch of people who all were holding the same focus. A, to create a routine, B, to abide in an intention of releasing and letting go of conscious and unconscious stuff that seems to be getting in the way, and then being acutely curious for what would an experiment of laughing every day or nearly every day with a bunch of others, how different would that be for me experiencing more joy during the day, or simply kind of fueling forward one of my own projects or things that I had issues on. And it was a huge facilitator for me getting clear at the start of every day. I got to clean up my clutter, my shift stuff. And because I've had private conversations with you about, I have all this stuff, but I only seem to get rid of the stuff on the surface. I don't go deep enough. And I realized I didn't, I had the commitment in my head, but I wasn't letting it make the commitment to my heart of what I needed to let go of to move on ahead. Anyway, this period helped move me forward, and I realized I needed to do a public thing about my declutter issue. So I decided I was going to do a declutter day blab and be fueled by my own transformation, my laughter commitment, and also what I was feeling was, the power of the group. It's like when two or more are gathered, something powerful happens. Mm-hmm. And so it was really neat. Plus, being able to share insights and awarenesses, in my own journal, and the materials, that really colorful and pretty graphic things that you provided, that was good. But then I also had this Facebook group on days when I was led to share other things, mm-hmm. or really read and follow other people's journeys, mm-hmm. What was happening for them. So that it was powerful and surprising that I could do it. I probably did it 10 of the 21 days actually live with the group, and on 5 or 6 of the other days I followed up, and then maybe 4 days I didn't get to it. But for me, in a 21-day period, that was more intentional laughing every day than I'd really done in a while. So
how soon did you start seeing results from that, Elaine?
The first day, because of the awarenesses I had on the very first day. So, Anne, why don't you share with people what the practice was kind of like? It's
Sure.
It's only like 21 to 30 minutes. It's not
Right.
that much time.
Right. So honestly, immediately is when most people felt something shift. And by 5 days, the responses I was getting was like, oh my God, this is rocking my world. Like, whoa, we've only been doing this for 5 days. But really everyone felt something immediately, because the format we do is we start with 90 seconds of just setting your intention. Really get focused, no dilly-dally, just 90 seconds. What is the power question that you want to ask, or invite your higher self or your inner wisdom to give you some guidance on today? And then for 9 minutes, we laugh as a group together, just really creating this energetic vortex in which all of our voices are contributing, but also it's like this energetic house cleaning for all of us to make space in our body and our being and our energy field to hear our inner wisdom and our divine guidance. And then the next 9 minutes is meditation, just silent meditation and stillness. Just allowing it to integrate and breathing in just the calmness of whatever our wisdom is bringing to us. And then the last 90 seconds is simply writing down any reflections or insights we had for clarity for the day, or some insight, aha moment. And so within that container, there's intention, there's laughter, there's meditation and listening or integrating, and then reflection. And because it's a very structured practice, it makes us focus to start the day. And just that alone, as you know, for any of you who have played with different practices, just starting your day with focused intention is a game changer by itself. But starting the day with intention plus raising your vibration of your cells to be in this place of joy and the biochemistry of laughter, that was a real game changer for everybody. And so there's this group dynamic as well. And so once you hear the, get rid of the echo here, the group dynamic as well. And there's something really magical about hearing the voices of so many other people on the phone first thing in the morning. I think that was new for everybody in the experiment, because typically we have a morning practice, maybe meditation or journaling or whatever it is, but most of us aren't starting the day with other people. It's usually a solo practice. And there was something incredible about getting on the phone and hearing the voices of other people around the country, just adding this intention. Not only does it just feel good, but it just added that collective awareness to everybody's experience. It was magical. So that's why I've decided to do it again starting tomorrow, because it's something that none of us had ever experienced before, but I think all of our souls are calling for it.
I think that's something that all of us have not tapped into, that we really don't understand how intricately connected we are.
Right.
And if we truly did understand that, we could do so much more. There is a reason why you're supposed to group together to do things. There is power in numbers. Positive thought, when there's a group of people, can do so much.
Mm-hmm. It's so true. And here we are, right now there's 4 of us on the screen. Kevin, you're back. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you. Yay.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Props. Yay. Awesome.
I tried getting back, but you guys weren't coming in. So I refreshed it. So I just totally cut you all out and then came back and finally got on.
Yay. Woo-hoo.
We might be able to draw on a few more people by tweeting this on out.
Right.
For whoever hosts a blab, if you invite people to tell a little bird, they will. And Anne, this new feature of blab, when you tell a little bird, it will actually take like an animated GIF kind of picture that will accompany the tweet if you want to. So kind of look happy, folks, because if any of us tell the tweedle, tell a little bird, it's
my God, I
captured us. And some of them are good and some of them look funny,
So funny. So, we could even play with doing a little mini joy experiment right now, because there's 4 of us live, and then there's a handful of others that are watching, and then there's a handful of others that are going to be tuning in to the recording afterwards, or the replay. So if we just all take a moment to breathe in and really get grounded in this moment, and just feel your seat on the, the back of your legs on your seat, and feel your feet on the floor. Take a deep breath in and just get really, really present right now. And just tune into what you want to create today. It's only middle of the afternoon. You've got the rest of the day. What experience do you want to create today? What feeling? What quantity or what essence would you like to expand today? And just bring that into clear focus. Maybe it's a feeling. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a conversation, a meal. Anything. And now let's just celebrate in advance by bringing our laughter voices. And we're just going to take a deep breath in and open up your shoulders so you expand your body. And we're going to add some laughter to it.
What do you mean I have to stop?
What? Don't stop. Next laugh will just be nonstop laughter. But that tuning into right now, what comes to you as something that you could do or say or feel inspired to do this afternoon to bring more of that into your life. What comes to you? And just breathe that in. And that's just, the mini microcosm of our joy experiment. We did that in like 1 minute, but we fleshed that out and we spend 21 minutes doing that. And then there's a little bit more of me talking at the beginning and the end, just to introduce the theme for the day. So it ends up being between 27 and 30 minutes total in the joy experiment. But it's and
it's not laughing for 21 minutes, though. It's like laughing for like 9 or 10 minutes.
9. Yeah, I said
9 minutes.
It's
and
9.
Then sitting kind of in quiet and seeing what awarenesses bubble up. Mm-hmm. Or just focusing on breathing and just being in that very quiet place.
Right.
Noticing the contrast.
Right. So the reason I created this whole joy experiment was because I feel like that laughter can really clear out the mental cobwebs. Like Teresa was saying, when we laugh, it quiets our mind. And that is what we need to empty the vessel so that we can hear the guidance of our higher wisdom in our heart. And so to create this container where we set up an intention and then make space for it, embodying a higher frequency in ourselves, and then allowing our insights to flow, we can radically transform our life one day at a time by adopting this as a practice. And my personal experience, as well as everybody who participated, was very affirming of that this is exactly what happens when all of a sudden all this stuff is breaking open for insights and creativity and awarenesses and love and peace and well-being, and people are experiencing manifesting of things they wanted. And just getting ourselves into the flow by choosing every day to embody a higher frequency is the whole name of the game.
And the willingness to let go of the junk.
Yes.
We tend to think that if you lose something, it's a bad thing. It's not. It's not a bad thing to lose something. Let go of the junk. It's okay to lose it. It's okay to let go of it. Because you can't if your hands are full, I can't remember who said this, but if your hands are full, then you can't hold anything else good. You're too busy holding on to the junk. But we're so wired that it's bad to lose something, and it's not. It's not always bad to lose something.
Yeah, well said.
So
Ann, I really loved your 10 reasons not to be joyful. That was so funny itself.
Did
I got watching that. I was cracking up big time just watching that.
you know what? I mean, sometimes people feel like life has to be serious. That like if you're laughing too much or something, you're not doing your work. You're not focusing on your projects in the right way. And we've been conditioned to just be so serious about it. So what about people that say, you know, I don't know how to lighten up, or I'm just too busy?
Well, the reason I made that video is because I was so on fire with my joy experiment, and I put it out there, and those were the responses I got. And so I was incredulous, like, oh, this is really getting inside people's minds. Like, okay, I'm doing this thing where we're going to get clear on what we want in our life and then laugh it in. And they're like, yeah, I don't really see how that's relevant for me. I'm like, whoa, I don't want to feel good. What? And so the whole thing got really, really funny in a hurry, because there's this huge disconnect where we get so focused on the stuff we think is important and missing the big picture of the reason why we're doing everything that we do is because we want to feel good. And usually we're going through some misguided path to get there. If I just do this and then this and then this and then this will happen and then I can feel good. Forgetting that we can go straight there and create our life from the inside out when we are feeling awesome. That's what we create more of. But it's a paradigm shift that takes people life experience and time to get to that point of wanting to even try that. But yeah, absolutely. What it really represents is that whole turning the paradigm upside down and inside out for all of us, because for all of us, we've been, grown up in this culture where we believe that you have to do X and Y in order to get Z, whether it's money or love or health or, your perfect job or your partner, or just to get your kids to do what you want. We have to do X, Y, Z. And in fact, it's who we're being and just the energy that we're radiating that attracts the results and the inspired ideas for how that can happen. And so we can just go straight there by choosing to get quiet, ask the power question, raise our vibrational frequency so that it is a match for a more elegant path, and then listen. And it's really the shortcut, and it's so simple. But when you are used to not simple, complicating things, it doesn't compute. Like, no, I have to do it complicated,
Don't get Elaine started.
It's like a club for people who are addicted to making things complicated, like the support group.
Well, I just want to say that I was at my garbage time. I was holding too much garbage, as Teresa was saying, and I thought 21 days was just way too much for me. And so then, just today, I went to one of your emails and I listened to one of the episodes.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, what the heck, man, this is great. And so I signed up, and I'm just excited about getting into it because, see, my problem is that I don't wake up thinking about doing a certain thing. I just wake up, being in my old routine, Right. And I need to change this routine. So, I'm excited about this.
Your life, Kevin.
Pardon me?
I said, it sounds like your life is running you and you're not running your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I love that you took the initiative and knew this is what you need. Because
Oh, no.
Hey, you don't ever see Ann being quiet.
Okay, so as the co-host here, I'm going to continue on the conversation, and once again call in the the Blab Techno Angels to come down through the ethers and support Ann to coming back into her own Blab. But anyway, what we're talking about here is the Planet Joy experiment. It's something that I, Elaine Nieberding, otherwise known as Laughing Elaine, I'm a laughter yoga teacher and not new to intentional laughter, but I got to follow along with this experiment, this group laughing daily practice during the month of October with Ann. And I had a great time, and it was a great transformational tool for me. And I'm going to pause the recording for a moment. You can bring laughter into anything, like, because there are so many things out of our control. You know, you can say, okay, what could I do? I could get upset, or I could laugh. So I don't have stress hormones starting to build up while I'm trying to figure out what's going on. No, I can laugh and relax. And there she is. She's back.
we can laugh through technical hiccups. Ha 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 ha. Well, you know, I think that's one of the power practices about laughing, is that we can set our intention for what we want to create in our lives, but then the great joke is that we have to be not attached to what that looks like or how the universe is bringing it to us. And so just like this, where we want to have an event, but, you know, my technology kicks me out, ha, ha, ha. You know, it's just allowing life to go however it's going to go, and just trusting that it is continuing to bring the bigger picture of what we truly want to be, do, and have. But the laughter really helps with that non-attachment of noticing where we're attached to a particular outcome or a result or what it should look like. And that creates tension. And just laughing to say, ha, 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 ha. I'm actually not in control, am I?
And it really helps us get clearer and clearer that if our intention is abiding in a feeling and a frequency, then that feeling and frequency is not dependent on what form things are showing up on the outside. They might be in the way we desire or think or visualize, but sometimes the manifestation of that is really, you know, it's going to appear in the future or in a slightly different form. So we're releasing that attachment to the happy feeling, the success feeling, the joy feeling from any of that. We're just saying, hey, I'm going to be in the joy now anyway. Yes.
And, you know, all of us are in these human bodies that experience stress and tension and freak out when things go wrong, or, you know, whatever it is. So we have just got this way of living that is flooding our body with stress hormones just unconsciously. And so to laugh is to flood our body with the higher vibrational frequency hormones so that we can release that stress out of our body. And then, of course, just bring ourselves back into balance. So, you know, for example, this morning I was noticing that on my joy experiment, there was something that had gotten tweaked where an email wasn't sending automatically like it should, which in the big picture is not a big deal. But because I really care about everything wanting to go smoothly for everybody, I was getting all tense, like, but we have to fix this, right? And that my conscious mind knows is not a big deal. Like, we can just get it fixed. But what happens is our brain doesn't know the difference. It's like going back in time to the saber-tooth tiger era, when an email not being sent is the same thing as roar, here comes a saber-toothed tiger, and the brain goes into, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, right? And so just to notice I'm having this stress response in my body over a non-issue because my reptilian brain hasn't evolved yet to the point of being able to see it's not a big deal. Ha, 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 ha. The laughter just helps flush the system. It's like we go to the car maintenance place and get the radiator flushed or whatever. We have to flush our own system, like whoosh, give it the big house cleaning. And I think that's the power of these joy experiments, is to do it day after day after day. People experienced a really powerful flushing of old stories and old stuff that was ready to be let go, old beliefs and old habits and old ways of being. And, in our evolution, stuff comes up when it's ready to be released. And then we could just bring our laughter wave and clear it all out. And then the next wave is ready to be released, and so on. And we keep on evolving and growing and evolving and growing. But the whole point is to grow into being the best version of ourselves that we want to be. And that's who the joy experiment is really for, is those of us who are really passionate about wanting to be the best version of ourselves, whatever it looks like, knowing that we'll always evolve, but let's just keep on growing and evolving and expanding and seeing what's possible for us. This is a powerful tool to help us up level in every area of our life.
Hey, Anne, when I was participating in the experiment, I had different experiences during the act of laughing on different days.
Yes.
There were some days I started and it was like, it was easy for me to start laughing. I heard the other laughter voices. That kind of triggered some of these mirror neurons in my body, which made it easier to laugh. On some other days, it was like, oh my God, I'm getting up to laugh again. Okay. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. And I found ways to play with the activity of doing intentional laughter, and making the decision, okay, well, I'm not going to slog through this. I'm going to get curious again. I'll experiment. What's it going to be like today? Mm-hmm. And there was one day, and I was glad on that day I was at home in my own bedroom as opposed to at my parents' house, because I actually stay over there a couple nights a week. So on one of the days I was home, and I really got into very hearty belly laughter. And there was a point where the hearty belly laughter really kind of shifted over to almost sobbing and crying. Mm-hmm. And I want you to think about the physiology of very hearty laughter and crying. It's got the same muscles going.
There's no difference.
One of the reasons we feel so much better when we do hearty laughing or hearty crying is we got all that stale air out of our system. Most of the people walking around the planet, when they're breathing, you're only using like 25% of your lung capacity. And in nurses' terminology, it's like, it's mediocre gas exchange, right? But and that's what they call it, right? Gas exchange.
I'm going to tell you, I'm sorry, she's right.
Right. But when you are deeping breather and longer, and when you're occasionally doing a laugh where you're really expelling all of the stale air out of your lungs, that is the complete clearing. And when we do that, it's like the body's saying, thank you. Thank you. You got rid of that stale stuff. I wanted the fresh stuff to come on in. If you decide to pursue the Planet Joy experience, not because you're even ready for deep transformation, but even if you just might want to experience the physicality of hearty laughter and what that can trigger for you, get curious. Laughter clubs, public laughter groups are some of the ways that people explore this. This is different. Typically, you don't have to leave your home. You can do it. And nobody has to see you. So it's even not, it's not quite as public as this. Teresa, you were very bold to come on. And some people are comfortable on screen and can do this. But if you're venturing into this idea of intentional laughter starting out, the phone might be a real safe place to do it. And if you're doing it in a way where you have like your mic open, it's great. But there are actually other ways to participate where you just might be watching the activity online and not really even have your own vocalizing being received. There were a couple days, that's how I had to do it, just because of where I was with what iPhone I had, or so people have to know they don't have to be on the phone. They can connect with, what's the service that you use? Is it which telewebinar?
Teleseminar, but all the recordings are available after every single thing. I post the recording, so you can listen to it on the web at your convenience anytime. So it's really accessible.
Yeah. So
gas exchange. And adding on to what you were talking about with the air, physiologically, I mean, when you're doing the belly laughing or the sobbing, you're using muscles that to an extent that you normally don't use them. And that's got to release, toxins and that kind of thing out of the body. It's all the negative energy, not just the air, but everything else. I mean, I can see from, a medical standpoint, physiologically, how it would benefit the body.
Yeah, it's really cool. What my experience of it is laughter and joy has a vibrational frequency, if it's this bandwidth, and where disease and sadness and grief and all these heavier emotions are stored are at this vibrational frequency. It's a different bandwidth. And so as we bring our body into this higher vibrational frequency, ha, 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 by laughing, everything that isn't a match gets revealed and shaken up, and they're dissolved or brought up for processing. And so when we started the first joy experiment, the people who were brand new to this, several of them said, is it normal for me to be crying every time? Because absolutely, it's what comes up is it touches the stuff that hasn't been touched because those muscles haven't been used, those energies in the body haven't been touched, and wherever there is stored emotion, it gets released. And this is the house cleaning, that brings our whole body into a higher frequency so that we can just embody this frequency and not walk around in this frequency that is, addicted to other things of numbing our feelings or avoiding our feelings or just not knowing why we don't feel awesome, because that's there and we just don't even know it. It's unconscious. And so this is this big spotlight that shines the light onto here's what's ready to be released. And sometimes it does come out through tears. I like to say the reason I'm so happy is because I cry every day. And it's not just a facetious thing. Like the laughter clears up everything that's stored within me too that wants to come out. And it starts off and is ha 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 and ends up as ha ha ha.
Sometimes. And I love the fact that you're starting this activity in the autumn. Now I live in the East Coast and I'm far enough north that we have the deciduous trees that change color and the leaves are falling down. And of course, as the leaves fall down on some days, it's real kind of gentle and there's just a couple over here and there's a couple over there. And then some days it's like they're coming down or the wind is blowing. And then sometimes you're out there, you're with your rake and you're raking them up and you're saying, oh my goodness, there's a lot of stuff here that's been let go of. And then, if you let the little kid in you come out, it's almost like you see that big pile and you say, yay. And it's like jumping in the leaves or picking them up and going, I'm just setting it all free. I'm setting it all free. And so this is one of those activities where we open the door to just being more fully present to the range of our human emotional components, all of them. And they're all good and they're all rich. It's like this, it's like a wonderful pot of soup with a million different spices, and they're all in there, and they all create part of this savory life, that we have. But yes, just
yes,
celebrate the joy and the season.
I'm hungry.
Make it.
So, Anne, did you intend for this to be about an hour-long blab? Because we're at about 50 minutes after the hour.
Perfect.
And some of the folks might want to know if they want to participate in this. Like, where can they go? Where can they register?
Thank you for asking. Wonderful.
Like that kind of thing. They might want to know.
But
yes, right.
Ann, before you start that, I just signed up today. So is there going to be an email for me tomorrow to where I know what number I need to call? Or
yep, you should have already received the first email, and then you'll get another one tonight and another one first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Yep. So you should have a lot of emails. Plus, check your email, but in there is the information on how to join the Facebook community. So I'll be sure to add you to the Facebook group, and then in the Facebook posting in there all the details every day as well. So there's between Facebook and email, there's a couple options. So I'll make sure that you're getting that stuff. So
I want to share with folks that the investment is modest to explore this and experiment with how laughter could be part of a rich practice for self-transformation. And then you get the videos or you get the replays. So some people could even, do it for 10 days, and then a couple days down the pike, even like go through the cycle again. You could.
Yes, that's mainly what I wanted to do it, because of the fact that you had those 3 that we could listen to. I thought, well, geez, if I do 10 days, then I can go back and do those 10 days. Exactly. I mean, when we had that laughing time where you couldn't see my face, I go back to that all the time to laugh.
Awesome. Yeah. I know there's a lot of people who are doing the 21-day experiment again from the replays, because it was such a rich
No.
You just never know. When Anne watches the replay, she's going to get to see the place in which her face was caught. It was different each time. So this last one was like, but I'm not frozen.
Geez, that was so good, Elaine. I thought you froze.
Yeah. So anyway, for anybody who comes back to this Blab location to watch the replay, I actually have put on into the comment stream here. You scroll back up, you can find it. I actually put in the link to the YouTube video that Anne made. It is on the planetjoyexperience.com website. But I just wanted to say that I put in the comment stream here and the link to your YouTube video with like the reasons why people don't think they want to laugh. I just put that in here.
Perfect.
And that's for reference. And anyway, that's there. And of course, that is also on the planetjoyexperiment.com website.
Yes. Yep. Thank you. It's planetjoyexperiment.com. And I went crazy adding videos to that page. I had so much to say. I had so much fun that there's tons of videos you can watch just to learn a little bit more about the experiment. You can download some sample audios and play along. You can watch the top 10 reasons why joy might not be for you video. There's just a ton of resources. It's kind of in a scattered phase right now of blah, There's so much I want to say, and I'll get it organized for the next round. But anyway, planetjoyexperiment.com is where you can go to learn more information and register. And we start tomorrow. That's Monday, November 9th. And the live calls are at 6:30 a.m. Mountain Time. And if that time doesn't work for you, the replay is available immediately afterwards. So you can tune in anytime during the day and still participate with the group over the next 10 days. But for those who do register today, you have the rest of the day to get the email where you can access the Planet Joy resources, which are the Joy quiz that you can take beforehand to just assess where are you at in your life and where do you want to grow and expand. It's a really helpful assessment too. Just a fun quiz. Those are always fun. There's also the Joy Power Activation Guide that gives you some very focused questions to look at what do you want to create with your life this month during this experiment. Where do you want to go? We're all getting on board. Where do you want us to drive? And then there is a guided meditation that's a video that you can do along with it. So let's see and the time warp tools for those who are wondering, like, I don't really think I have time to create 30 minutes a day to add this. There's a simple one-page exercise that you can do to just get clear on where you can bend time to make time for this. So there's a number of resources you get when you enroll, and then we'll start the live calls tomorrow at 6:30. There will be emails that go out tonight and first thing in the morning. And we will spend the next 10 days together co-creating something beautiful, something magical, something awesome, and something fun.
One of the tips I want to pass along to people who explore the package of resources that come along with these daily experiments and sessions. There's a lot there. You can really go deep on your own at this modest investment. Don't feel like because all those resources are there, you must use them.
Right.
You follow your own heart about how much to use them, because you might find, just doing the simplest things that are attached to the 30 minutes of activity, 21 to 30, that's enough. Might be all you really have time for. As you get into it and as you gain clarity, you're likely to be more connected to your intuition as stuff gets cleared out of the way, to know how and when to use the other resources. How and when, because your spirit is starting to sing and wants to express. You'll jump on over to the Facebook group and, today I feel like doing that. I loved, Anne, that you said, there's resources here, there is a rhythm, there is a group, but, don't get hung up on rules about this.
Right.
Don't get hung up on rules about it. Like you're starting it and then you're not doing it right.
Right.
No. It's an experiment, remember? You're starting, you're going to see what's going to happen today. And what might I look at a little differently tomorrow? And how is my energy going to be a little different? And so, ease up on the rules thing.
Absolutely.
Make it your own.
The point is, it's a joy experiment. We're supposed to be enjoying.
Joy.
Don't stress out.
Not joyful. But yeah, I've very intentionally designed it so that people can go as deep as you want to with it. And if you do all of the resources and all of the daily playbook pages, you will have massive transformation. And it may be that not all of you is ready for that much overhaul. And so you'll be guided to, or you'll feel a resistance, like, I don't really want to do that. It's just because you are being guided to do as much as your soul is setting you up for, to stay in this vibration of joy. And that is a very intuitively guided process. So absolutely. So there's a lot there. You can use as much or as little as you feel drawn to. But I've set it up very deliberately so that you can use what resonates and not use the rest, and it's all perfect. The point is just to make a decision that I want to commit to living in greater joy. And I don't know what that looks like, but I'm going to experiment and, like you were saying, throw it all in the soup, stir it up, and we laugh together and see what comes out.
So, Anne, I've been happy to introduce you onto Blab. I've been thrilled that my participation in the Planet Joy experiment has fueled forward my own decluttering project. And so because this laughter process does get into releasing stuff, mental, emotional, or like me, and like really make a commitment to the physical release of stuff. For anyone who feels like it's also a fit to be looking at your letting go of physical stuff and simplifying your life, I want to invite you to join me on any Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern for the Declutter Day Blab series that I host. I'm sure in future weeks, Anne will be showing up on one of those if her schedule's allowed. And tomorrow on the 9th, I'm going to be talking about this thing of intention. So it's perfectly aligned with what you're doing, Anne. Thank you. I'm so blessed to know you as part of the global laughter transformation healing community. As I've said, as we approach the holidays, there's a Christmas carol that sings tidings of comfort and joy. Mm-hmm. And I feel that this experiment so much aligns with that as we approach the holiday season. That's what we want. We want more comfort, blessing, acceptance, compassion, connection, joy for everyone. And this is just a great way to come into the end period of the year with a greater sense of freedom and fulfillment.
Absolutely. Thank you. Well said, Elaine. Well, we're at the top of the hour, so I would love to just send us all off with a laugh, just to bring this frequency into ourselves and leave on this high note of joy. We've got a few more who have joined us. So for those who are new to intentional laughter, we're just going to laugh just because. So here we go. Oh my God. Oh, thank you. Oh, you guys. You great laughs. This is fun. Oh, wow. Thank you for that. Beautiful way.
Hey, Nursey Teresa, am I glad you joined us? Wow.
Yeah, very much
Thank
so.
you.
Thanks, Teresa.
Thank
Wow.
you so much.
Yes. Wow. Thank you, Kevin, for tuning in. I'm so glad the technology worked for you to laugh with us. You got a great laugh.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed doing it.
We have Jean Bedley here saying, you guys quack me up. Thank you, Jean.
We'll take that. Thank you.
And Jean Bedley, he's a National Educator of the Year. Whoa! Okay.
Congratulations.
Thanks for joining on. And my friend Dave Moore also joined in. I know Dave, but he was never comfortable with the idea of laughing on camera. But I hope we got him laughing right where he was watching. I hope.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah.
Anyway, and once again, Anne is going, wong, wong, wong. She went out and in. I'm going to let her see if she can come back in to actually close down the show in her own way.
Okay.
In her own way, she's back to close out the show. Good.
Yes. So apparently this is the day of random technology blips. But yes, we're going to wrap up for today. But you're invited to join me for the Joy Experiment that starts tomorrow. It's planetjoyexperiment.com. I'd love to share this vibration with you and just help us all co-create planet joy one laugh at a time by becoming our best selves and using laughter to blaze the trail. But thank you, Elaine, for being here. Thank you, Teresa, for tuning in. And Kevin, I love, love, love laughing with you guys and looking forward to laughing with you more starting tomorrow. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.